The blues is a form of secular folk music created by African Americans in the early 20th century, originally in the South. Although instrumental accompaniment is almost universal in the blues is essentially a vocal form. Blues songs are usually lyrical rather than narrative because the expression of feelings is foremost. Today, we will try to tell about the history of blues music. (1828). While minstrel shows were gaining in popularity, the song "Jump Jim Crow" was being performed by white comedian Thomas Dartmouth, Daddy Rick in blackface makeup. The song was allegedly inspired by a crippled African slave by the name of Jim Crow. After slavery was abolished, blacks themselves performed in traveling shows instead. One such organization was the Rabbit's Foot Minstrels, who traveled the South performing tent show for nearly 60 years, and gave career starts to artists such as Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, Big Joe Williams and Rufus Thomas. (1861). Led by President Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War took place at this time and the struggle to abolish slavery was born. Slaves were used for many years in the South and the blues genre developed from the slaves' harsh work conditions. They created songs that were very spiritual about work, life, and hope. Finally, the Civil War brought hope to many slaves. (1863). The Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 initiated the start of sharecroppers and juke joints, which were places where African Americans went to listen to music and gamble. This is the period where African spirituals left the group setting and were moved into a more individualized performance. There was a direct relationship between the national ideological emphasis upon the individual, the popularity of Booker T. Washington's teachings, and the rise of the blues. (1867). Three Northern abolitionists published the book, Slave Songs of the United States. The book is a collection of 136 African American songs, mostly spirituals, that were sung by slaves working the southern plantations. It was the first and considered the most influential publication of spirituals and folk songs ever published. (1885). Dockery Farms cotton plantation and sawmill was established by Will Dockery. Many farm workers and itinerant musicians worked, played and traveled through Dockery, learning the blues and taking it with them when they traveled on. Dockery Farms was home to artists such as Henry Sloan, Charlie Patton, Son House, Willie Brown, Robert Johnson, Tommy Johnson, Howlin' Wolf, Roebuck, Pops, Staples and David "Honey Boy" Edwards. (1893). Blind Lemon Jefferson was born in Couchman, Texas. Jefferson, who was born blind, began learning guitar in his early teens. During his relatively short life, he wrote and recorded songs such as Matchbox Blues, Black Snake Moan, and See That My Grave Is Kept Clean. He also helped found the Deep Ellum blues movement in Dallas, Texas. Traveled and played with fellow country blues artist Lead Belly and taught T-Bone Walker to play guitar. 1899 Scott Joplin publishes Maple Leaf Rag. Joplin's influence in the development in ragtime greatly influenced early blues. (1902) Victor Records issues the first known recordings of African American field hollers known as camp meeting shouts. 1903 The blues had been evolving in America since the slaves came across the Atlantic with their African spirituals. But in 1903 W.C. Handy insisted that he had had the blues revealed to him by a guitarist at a train station. He discovers the blues and 12-bar format. Thank you for watching. I will close this story with a blues quote from Muddy Waters. "There's no way in the world I can feel the same blues the way I used to. When I play in Chicago, I'm playing up to date, not the blues I was born with. People should hear the pure blues. The blues we used to have when we had no money,